What's up, y'all? This is Pure Uncut Lakers. So the Lakers traded Gabe Vincent for Luke Kennard. I'm over whether it was a good trade, player for player. Again, a lot of you guys throw away second round, or think it's okay to throw away second round picks like they're candy. It's a very good shot that Luke Kennard is not with the team next year. And what we saw this year was that the Lakers are not attempting to try to win a title. So what did we give up a second round pick for? Right? That's $1 million question. What did we give up a second round pick for? What did we give up our future for? And while again, a lot of you guys throw away second round picks like they don't mean shit. And I keep telling you what the best general manager I've ever seen in Jerry West said. That every asset matters. You got to move as if every asset matters. So if the Lakers aren't going for a title this year, and we gave up the second round pick, then what are we doing? What is the end goal here? Not a doubt in my mind that Luke Kennard is a better player. That Luke Kennard fits better with this team. But what are we doing? See, that's the first question. But the second question is this. Why the fuck was Gabe Vincent playing anyway? On what team do you have a player, a 6'2 player, who shoots that poorly, who is that insignificant or a negative on defense, and who has a field goal percentage from 3 for his height? That shit. Now, you have to acknowledge the dude's height. It's fucking basketball. Anyone who's having a conversation about Gabe Vincent and is not mentioning this dude's height relative to his production is full of shit. But my bigger question is, what the fuck was he doing playing in the first place? And it makes me kind of tread into, where the fuck is Drew Timme? Drew Timme was higher in the pecking order than Maxi Kleber was. 2 weeks ago, he was higher in the pecking order. He had very good chemistry with LeBron. Where the fuck is Drew Timme? Now, a lot of you may be saying, well, what's one got to do with the other? I'll tell you. Gabe Vincent was playing because Gabe Vincent was getting $11 million a year. If you are general managing to win, if you are coaching to win, Gabe Vincent is not getting in the game. Gabe Vincent is being placed in a situation in which he is not playing. But the dude was playing. So you guys got to square that. We have to square that. The fact that you have this guy, by all statistical proof, says he shouldn't be in the NBA. Let alone playing for the Lakers, if the Lakers are legitimately trying to win the title. But he is. He is in the NBA. And he is on the Lakers. And he is getting minutes. Whenever the dude is healthy, the dude is getting minutes. Why? Why was he getting minutes to begin with? You know, and it makes you... It goes back to the shit I keep saying about the Laker organization since Jeanie Buss took over. It's a business organization. It is not a basketball team organization. It is not a attempt to win a championship organization. It is a business organization. And let's say that every team, in a sense, is a business organization. Right? Because let's face it, it is. The NBA is a business. Technically speaking, every team is a business organization. The question is, what do you prioritize? We all know if you own an NBA team, it's a business. But what do you prioritize? Where do you place your value? And the truth is that the Lakers don't place their value in winning. The Lakers place their value in appeasing and getting their fans to shut the fuck up, and getting their fans to believe that the Lakers did everything they could in order to put the best product on the court and try to win a championship. The truth is that after LeBron got to the Lakers, and after the Lakers won the championship, their first, the bubble title, They have been fucking up left and right since then. And, you know, I don't know how long it takes the new management to figure out a way to get out of that. Because in order to get out of that, you have to recognize what the problem is. And Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka have not been given adequate credit for being the problem. So is new management going to be able to recognize what their problem is? That their problem is the culture. You see, look, when you go and make this type of trade to get Luke Kennard for Gabe Vincent in a second round pick, and again, I am hung up on the second round pick. I have a huge beef with giving up that second round pick. If the acquisition of Luke Kennard came with the acquisition of Trey Murphy III or Giannis, you wouldn't hear me saying shit. Because I know then that is the Lakers trying to fill out a roster that they actually had a plan for. Right? If I see a plan, I'm not tripping. If you institute a plan and that plan doesn't work, I'm not tripping. But no one could tell me that giving up the future, and whether you think second round picks are worth a shit or not, it is technically the future, correct? If you're going to give up the future and you're going to acquire a player that we're very likely to have for the remainder of the season, then he's gone. What the fuck are you doing? You know? And that's part of the reason why I ask, where the fuck is Drew Timme? Drew Timme was the guy with the high ups. Look, I like Maxi Kleber. I've always liked Maxi Kleber with the Lakers. I'm not mad at Maxi Kleber. My point is that we treat assets like a rich person treats $10. What the fuck is $10 to somebody who's worth $1 billion? You know? We treat assets like they don't matter. And then we often wait to see, well, what is the fan base going to say? What are they going to say if we do this or if we do that? You know? And, you know, these idiots running around saying that we won the trade. The Lakers are a winner at the trade deadline. A winner of what? A winner of what? Gabe Vincent first, fuck is his name, man? Gabe Vincent versus Luke Kennard. Yeah, any moron knows that the Lakers won that trade straight up, player for player, right? But what did we actually come up? We ain't come up anything. And then so again, you know, I circle back to the question: why was Gabe Vincent playing in the first place? Why was he even on the court? Are you guys asking yourself that question? Because if you want an inside track into the mentality of Laker management, ask yourself, why the fuck was Gabe Vincent on the court? You know, you hear all this shit every time Dalton Connect gets on the court and he doesn't produce. Every time Dalton Connect gets on the court and he fucks up just a little bit. You hear all this shit from the talking heads talking about how insignificant and how much of a negative value Dalton Connect has become. The whole time Gabe Vincent is on the court and it's like a running joke. The truth is this, and I heard Malcolm X say this in a short clip yesterday. Every time someone lies to you and they get away with that lie, it becomes less and less effective when they lie. In other words, what ought to piss you off because someone is lying right to your face and gaslighting you right to your face, what ought to piss you off starts not to piss you off as it should. You start to care less. You start to become immune to it. And that's where I've gone with this, is that the Lakers, especially the Laker management, keeps doing shit to make you become immune to what they truly prioritize. And what they truly prioritize is money. Is the business. It's not winning. And while we all hope that this new management comes in, they just said that they're going to do to the Lakers what they did with the Dodgers and all this other stuff. I don't know how much that means. I don't know how much that means in basketball. You know, in baseball, who has the deepest pockets? Whoever has the deepest pockets, they not win, but they could put together a roster that says, damn, those motherfuckers are doing it. The NBA is not that. And, you know, what the Lakers need in order to make big moves in the future, they gave up. And I think that's what a lot of people aren't talking about with this Luke Kennard trade. You know, that second round pick was an asset. That second round pick potentially could have been the difference in a move that said or dictated or articulated to us as fans. No, the Lakers want it. They want to win. They want to go for it. But that's not what this trade was. And, you know, it would have had to be a trade like this. This is the type of trade you could predict from this organization. When the Lakers got Dorian Finney-Smith, there's not a doubt in my mind that Dorian Finney-Smith could help you. There's not a doubt in my mind about that. But what effectively did Dorian Finney-Smith do for the Lakers? We gave up, I think, 2 second-round picks for him. And he was gone in the offseason. So now we're talking about 3 second-round picks, right? Last year's and this year's trades. 3 second-round picks thrown in for players that are very likely to be gone in the offseason. For players that got us where? First-round exit last year. How many of you are thinking we're going to the Western Conference Finals this year? Anyone who is honest with themselves does not believe this team is going to the Western Conference Finals this year. Many of you, probably most of us, would not be surprised if we got eliminated in the first round this year. So that's 3 second-round picks. What is that worth? At what point do we stop moving like rich, entitled assholes? That's the $1 million question. So again, I ask, what the fuck was Gabe Vincent doing playing when he didn't deserve to play? You know, what? How does that speak to our mentality as a team? As an organization? You know, where the fuck is Drew Timmy? Is he expendable because he's not getting paid shit? Is he expendable because we found him in the G League? You know? Was Alex Caruso very similar? Was Jay Huff very similar? Scottie Pippen Jr. very similar? These are all players that have found a spot in the NBA and other places. You know? On the cheap. That's what we need. Why weren't they good enough for us? That's $1 million. And why was Gabe Vincent good enough for us? Literally, to get playing time. Why was he good enough for us? You know, why are players who actually should... Look, there's another team right now who's watching Drew Timmy and saying, these motherfuckers are going to fuck it up. They're going to let him go for nothing when he could fill a spot. You know, I mean, you could even... I went back and I looked at the Ivica Zubac trade. Rob Pelinka was the general manager during that trade, and Rob Pelinka had a huge hand in conducting that trade. And Ivica Zubac was just traded for Benedict Mathurin and 2 first-round picks. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? You know? And, of course, just like with anything else, rich people are given the credit. People who have power, people who have something valuable, they're given the credit as if they did it on their own, as if they built it, as if they have more credibility because they own the Lakers, because they're rich. And they have a way of moving in such a way that just makes you shut up. You know? And then when the stock market crashes or the housing market crashes, do you think these rich people are worried about anything? Who eats it? You eat it. I eat it. You know, and, you know, I'm telling you right now, this channel is, because of Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, it's starting to move. It's shifting from just straight Laker talk to a whole bunch of social shit. Because, you know, look, man, if you're going to be rich, then be rich. Right? Put together a rich team. Stop doing poor moves. Right? Move like you actually earned it at some point in your life. But of course we know Jeannie Buss didn't. Jeannie Buss was born with the right name to the right family. That's all it is. And it's very indicative in how she was talking about LeBron James. LeBron James saved your ass. Period, point blank. He saved your ass. You wouldn't have Luka right now. You would never sniff Anthony Davis. LeBron James saved the fucking organization. And this ungrateful wench don't want to admit it. She still wants to believe. She was born on third with no outs. And Barry Bonds and Tony Gwynn and I don't know, Sammy Sosa was up to bat. You know what I'm saying? Alright, y'all, this is Pure Uncut Lakers. Please like and subscribe. I'll hit you later.